Welcome back, everybody, to 31 1980s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the 1980s. So we're at number 30, and for number 30, we not only have our first body horror movie, we also have our first horror comedy, and our first low-budget schlocky horror movie. I love me some schlock. I don't think a movie being schlocky means that the movie's bad. It just means that the movie's, lower budget and kind of having a good, sleazy time. So for the number 30 spot, we have Street Trash.
Jesus. Whoa!
I love urban horror movies. I love horror movies that take place in a city, because city-based horror movies show that you don't have to go off the beaten path to find horror. Horror can be in civilization. And Street Trash is a very sleazy movie. I also enjoy sleazy-based horror movies because life is sleazy. So if a horror movie has sleaze in it, I just think it's more sincere.
Fuck you. Give me a bottle of booze. Here's my dollar. Suck my dick.
Here's your booze. Suck your own dick, you schmuck.
So in Street Trash, we're following the daily struggles of the local homeless population. We're following a homeless man named Fred and his brother Kevin. We see how they live their lives. We see how Fred is trying to care for his little brother and just basically dealing with all the hardships of the hardships that homeless people deal with. They live in a junkyard where the junkyard is run by this gang, this gang of homeless people, and the gang is run by Bronson, this really sadistic homeless man who has a knife made out of a femur bone.
Inferious slug.
So we're following these two brothers trying to live their lives as homeless people. At the same time, the local liquor store has discovered this crate of this old booze called Viper. And the best thing to do when you find booze hidden away is sell it for $1 a bottle to the local homeless population. The problem is that Viper has this little side effect of making people melt. We have a body melt movie here, and we don't get enough body melting movies. We need more melting bodies in movies. We have plenty of head explosions, but we need more melting bodies, because melting bodies is fun. Now the thing about Street Trash is the plot with the Viper is happening around the edges of the story. The majority of the story is following these two homeless brothers, and following Bronson running the junkyard, as well as following this detective who's trying to figure out why people are melting. There aren't a lot of body melt scenes in this movie. They do have plenty of scenes where people melt, but they space them out perfectly throughout the film. Usually it would bug me when a movie has a weird idea and it does not just follow through with that weird idea, but in Street Trash it works because it doesn't just fill the movie with padding, it fills the movie with an interesting and entertaining story. We see Bronson being a crazy gang leader. We see these two homeless brothers trying to survive. And we have this body-melting story sprinkled throughout this movie. It ties everything together very well and gives us an entertaining, low-budget, sleazy movie to watch. Something I don't usually like in horror movies is when the main characters are unlikable assholes. Because that makes it so we don't really care what happens to them. We're just waiting for them to die. Street Trash, the characters are assholes, but the movie makes it so you understand why they are the way they are. It's okay to have your movie follow asshole main characters if, one, we're following the villain, two, you make them entertaining assholes, and three, if you make us understand why they are the way they are. And Street Trash 1, the assholes are entertaining, and 2, we understand why they are the way they are. They are homeless people, and they live in this very selfish world, so it makes sense that they act like assholes, because this is a very rough, savage, selfish world. It's, kill or be killed, you have to fight for your daily bread.
I go all the way to the fucking block to steal a bottle from Ed, and then Paulie steals it from me. Wizzy plants his foot halfway up my ass, and I lose $3 in a goddamn garbage crusher.
But the movie has a sense of humor to it, and that's really what makes this work, because it's a ridiculous idea. Alcohol that makes people melt, and the movie just runs with its sleaziness. The practical effects are fantastic. What I love about the melting scenes is it's not just people melting, it's people melting into very colorful slime, which is an interesting contrast to the setting. It's a very dirty, gritty setting, and then you have these people melting into colorful slime.
Shit.
The main villain of this movie is Bronson. I mean, yeah, technically it's this booze that's going around making people melt, but the main villain of the movie is Bronson. He's this very unstable Vietnam veteran who, once he came home from the war, he became homeless, so he's mentally unstable, and like I said, he has a femur bone for a knife, so we already know he means business. And I really like the character of Fred, even though he's an asshole. Like I said, he's an entertaining asshole. And again, we understand why he is the way he is. He's had a very rough life. Him and his brother are homeless, and he's trying to figure out how to take care of his brother. He makes some questionable decisions, but given his circumstances, we get why he makes those decisions.
Go fuck your dog, Ed.
Very pleasant, very witty, Prick Lips. You can go fuck my dog.
All in all, Street Trash is fun in a sleazy way. I'm all for having sleaze in my movies because it just adds that extra element to that movie. Making a gritty, sleazy exploitation movie can be fun, especially if you do it the way Street Trash does it. Street Trash has fun with its sleaze. Yeah, it's a dirty movie. It's a very gross movie when we get to the body melting scenes. But hey, you know what? Like I said, body melting is fun. Sleaze can be fun. I think we could all go for a little sleaze this Halloween. So yeah, Street Trash, really good stuff. Really sleazy stuff. Highly recommended.
You're robbing the store, young man, and I'm telling the manager.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, wrinkle honky motherfucker.
Oh, dare you!